You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
What it is, what's up, and welcome everyone to Faces and Feels. I'm your host, Raffe Houston, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. You might know him from Dogcast Past. It's not going to be a very dogcasty time right now because both dogs are asleep, but I have the one and only, the owner and operator of Ruthless Pro Wrestling. It's Chris Kohlenberg. How are you, my dude?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Yeah, surely I'm all right. I got my shit together. Yeah, I'm obviously not as tired as you. You've worked a double and then you're home here late at night speaking to me. So I really appreciate your time, brother.
I will always make time for you, my friend.
I know that. And me for you, man. It's always good when we get to catch up. It'd been a hot minute. And so I thought, what better excuse for us to talk some shit than the upcoming King of the Kill, a show that I very nearly got on a plane to come to, but I broke off my hand. So next year, that's when we're penciling it in.
Next year you're coming out.
Yeah, next year.
I swear to God, next year you're coming out. I will bend over backwards to make sure you're here next year.
Mate, I would love to do it. It'd be amazing to get out there and to see you and the whole Ruthless team and all our mutual friends. It would just be a dream come true. So let's look to make that happen, but let's not bury the lead. Let's focus on what's in front of us right now, and I'll be watching live from home. But we're talking about King of the Kill, and it's King of the Kill 2 now, right? So we've done one of these.
The second one.
This is number 2. So run us through the card right from the bottom. What's this show start off with, my man?
I mean, this is not going to be in any particular order.
Yeah, sure.
But the first match we got is Schlack versus Jeff King.
That's awesome, and this is a tournament match. Yeah, this is a heat match. Yeah, that is sick. And if I'm not mistaken, I think people have tried to make this match happen a couple of times, right? But obviously Jeff has had, I know he had cancel issues and had things going on and stuff like that and hasn't been able to make it or something as well, right? So this will be pretty exciting for people to see. I haven't seen Jeff King in ages.
The thing with Jeff is, he was going hard for a while. And then the thing about Jeff is he has several children.
Yeah, okay.
That's the thing people don't understand about him. He has 9 children.
Oh, wow.
And he puts them first, So when he gets into a pocket of, maybe there's soccer practices or yada, 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 he won't make these bookings, but he will definitely be here for this.
That's cool. So he prioritizes his family, essentially. Like, he tries to make these things happen. He takes the booking, but if something comes up for the kids, he's just got to deal with it. Like, it's just like that.
Correct.
Yeah, sure.
And it's not like one of those things where he books and then thinks or doesn't think he's going to drop, this is one of those things where it just family comes first.
Yeah, absolutely.
He definitely will be here for that show.
That's so exciting. Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since I've seen him. And him and Schlack will just be absolutely killer, I reckon.
Jeff King is one of those guys that he's been gone for a while and people kind of don't look at him as what he really is. Mm-hmm. I've seen Jeff King at his prime and everything he's done, and that man is a bloodbath on wheels.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking that this is going to be a bull over for Schlack, on him because Schlack has been going very hard for us and yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. But Jeff King is a real actual hard motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he's real hard to put down. And I mean, you're going to have to almost bleed this man to death to get him to submit or be pinned. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this is the handover people are expecting it to be.
Yeah. That's how I remember him from back in the day, watching his matches. Is he a huge specimen like Schlack? Absolutely not. But I remember him just being fucking kind of unstoppable in a sense. You know what I mean? The level of durability and just mental toughness. I remember being this guy's fucking real, man, because he was not scared of anything was how it seemed to me.
I mean, he's from the Detroit scene, and I've seen a lot of them that most people have not. And I have seen him put people down like Eric Ryan. I've seen him put down Peter B. I've seen him put down fucking Bob Beverly. Like, he is not somebody to be fucked with, but unfortunately, a lot of those matches were not televised or anything that you could actually watch.
Yeah.
You know?
It's pre that kind of era, that like real prominent IWTV kind of era.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think that I'm really excited, and I would love to. Obviously, I don't know what's kind of going to plan out in the tournament, but if he could get past Schlack and we could get a couple of Jeff King matches, that would be absolutely awesome, I reckon.
Absolutely. But I mean, he's going against Schlack.
Exactly right.
Schlack,
and you can also never have too many.
So
yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those things where I'm talking up Jeff King, but I mean, he's also against Schlack. Yeah. So
the man is known as the human meat grinder for a reason.
Yeah.
The friendly nickname of the human meat grinder.
Yeah, Schlack's been with us for about a year now, since last year's King of the Kill.
Mm-hmm.
He's
against
very
Joel,
particular about where he books now.
Mm-hmm.
And his matches always go extremely hard. So, I mean, round one already, this is expected to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, I would say so. They may just both kill each other and it'll be a bye for whoever was supposed to fight the winner.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. That's really exciting. Who else you got?
So the next match will be Casanova Valentine versus Judge Joe Dredd. We did have them go against each other at our last show, but the finish was kind of a non-finish.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where this is what actually brought Cass into there was one spot left with his non-finish. It was one of those things where it was like, Cass has been putting his time in. And Joe Dredd has really been running roughshod over what we've been doing. And with that non-finish, we decided to make a last man standing match.
Nice. That's really cool. Cass is one of my favorites, and kind of, I guess, the real reason, or the initial reason I got into American death matches. Like his stuff, his documentary on Vice and things like that. Just really I was like, man, it'd be so fucking cool to run death matches in bars. We'll go on to now I commentate over death matches in bars, but I didn't know that then. But that was my kind of dream scenario. I came up in metal bands and shit. I was like, it'd be so cool if anybody did this here. So to see how consistent Cass has been, what he has meant for the deathmatch scene, and to see him getting to work with guys like you and stuff as well. I think the world of him, and I can't wait to see more stuff for him.
I mean, the other thing about Cass is I don't think people realize he's as big as he is.
He's huge.
It's one of those things where you don't see people's size on TV until you see them in person. But I mean, the motherfucker's 6'3", 300 and something pounds.
Yeah.
He's a big,
broad as a house. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is going to be a lot of man.
Yeah.
Just going one-on-one, and it's not going to be a pinfall. It's going to be last man standing.
Yeah, which I think probably is what he would like, right? Because Cass's history. The man used to be a bouncer and shit. He's been stabbed and stuff before. I think because he, cuts all these crazy promos and stuff, people just think he's a personality. I don't think they realize how fucking hard he is.
Well, he's also like Schlack, choosy on where he works.
Yeah.
And we're one of the few companies that's lucky enough to have him.
Yeah.
And we're very happy to have him. But he's one of those guys that's it's really hard to put a man like Cass down.
Yeah, sure. And that's what Judge is going to have to do. And speaking of Judge Joe Dredd, he's obviously been on a fucking tear lately.
Yeah. He's so one of the things that we're known for is really putting ourselves behind underdogs. A lot of promotions are we're just gonna get top guys and put them there. And one of the things I really like to do is find guys like him and see what they can do and let them be a big part of what we do. Like guys like him and like Dillinger, like Eric Dillinger, and like guys like that people aren't necessarily looking at yet. But I think in my eyes, a year from now, will be the top guys.
Yeah.
They're just ready to bloom. And I like being the company that gives them that opportunity to be those people. Like,
Absolutely.
To show what they have and be one of the next biggest people there is.
Yeah. And I think that works well with your audience as well, because then, like, if you're not afraid to book shows and build your own stars, then, you know, that's a little bit of a risk when you start out, because it's kind of unproven and people like who are on this lineup and things like that. But if you condition your audience and your audience gets to know that Ruthless is a place we can come to, and we can pick our guys, we can be on the ground floor of these talent and see them develop and see the guys who are going to end up being stars, that goes a really long way, you know, and it gives you the freedom to tell stories and interact with these guys that got a little bit more time in their schedule, things like that, you know, that I think that can really work out quite well.
Absolutely. And their in-ring work speaks for itself. I mean, like if you look at what Dillinger's done for us or Dredd has done for us, they're every bit as accomplished or not accomplished, but like in ring, like ready to do everything that you ready to see, and they're at the top level.
Yeah.
But just haven't had those eyeballs on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to Dillinger, it's a year, probably more than a year ago now, but a while ago. I have had him on this podcast, and he really struck me as like such a genuine person. Like, he's not afraid of hard work. He's obviously got quite a, you know, intense story with his battles of addiction. He'll tell you that the first thing he tells you, you know what I mean? He's very front street with it, and he's just fucking got it, man. You know what I mean? Like that, the attitude and the look and the, like, just all those things. Like, I can't think enough of him. I think he's a great dude.
I'll tell you what, if you want to see what Dillinger does best, watch his top rope work. He does a frog splash or a leg drop off the top rope.
Yeah.
It almost looks like he stops in midair.
Yeah.
Because his body just makes it work so well. And it's incredible looking.
Yeah. I saw him do that like off a fucking scaffold in the Insane 8 or something as well. Like, he's also fearless. Like, the dude's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. The man's a monster. And it's one of those things where I pride myself on like looking at people like that.
Yeah.
And getting myself behind people like that, that are, instead of being the huge established names, giving them the platform to show what they can do.
Sure.
And be what they are. And with people that, instead of just being like a jobber, like a real deal person, you know, like someone that's been in there for years. And that's, I mean, like, if you look at what Dillinger's done, maybe he doesn't have a lot of wins right now with us, but he's gone with people like Schlack.
Yeah.
And, you know, like he's really gone against like guys that have been around like the entire time that are names, and he can hang with them.
Yeah.
And only
it's a great
hang
experience.
with them, but also like put them through their metal.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely. And that kind of experience where you're going to, you know, book, you know, less experienced guys like that with those, you know, top guys, they can only learn. It can only help accelerate their development, you know, and that I think is really great. Yeah, absolutely. Who else we got?
So the next one we are going to have is, as our first show this year, Miasma in Jersey, Lou Nixon from the UK
Absolutely
took our heavyweight deathmatch championship away from that match.
Yeah.
And he's been defending it all over the UK. I think he's at 8 title defenses right now.
Yeah, wow.
Which Randy West has had it for, or our previous winner had it for almost 2 years, but he is about to knock her out of the the block on just defenses and what he's done. And he's going to bring it back over to the U.S. and he's going to defend it against Dr. Redacted, which is another person that I was a day wonder of, like backing up person. That's somebody that I thought had something.
Absolutely. That's really great. Redacted is, I think the first time I saw Redacted, he was under another name that is redacted now over at Time Bomb, who I believe you've done a little bit of work with recently. And then the next time I saw him was with Ruthless. And he has come so far, right? Like just returned from tour over with Big Japan, doing all those things. He was in the finals of King of the Kill last year, if I'm not mistaken. He was in the final.
Yeah, he was in the finals with Tommy Vendetta.
Yeah, and people wanted it. People wanted the Redacted win. Like at that one, Tommy managed to get it done.
People got real upset when he didn't win.
Yeah, I know, which is good. That's what you want, and that's what it's a testament to the work Redacted's doing. And Lou is like an absolute beast. I've been fortunate enough to commentate a little bit of Lou stuff over for Bleeding Gums recently, and catch more of his stuff. Yep, in Scotland. And so, this is really exciting to see him come back to you guys and defending it and see if he can take it away from American soil yet one more time.
Yeah, I mean, like he's been doing us proud. He's been really putting a lot of weight on the belt since he's gotten it. He's done a lot of defenses against a lot of big names and a lot of big matches. And, Redacted went the length of the last one. And this man's also putting his time in over here, like defending the belt, making it actually be something special.
Yeah, sure.
So in my eyes, that's a big match.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, is this match also a heat in King of the Kill, or is it's a break from the tournament? So it's like a couple of tournament matches, a title match, couple of tournament matches, something else?
Oh, no, that's a tournament match.
Oh, that's a tournament match. And he's going to defend the Rust belt in the tournament.
He will be defending his title every match he is in on King of the Kill.
Oh,
so whoever wins King of the Kill, whether it's him or whoever else, will have also our heavyweight deathmatch championship, along with I'm not sure if you saw it, we made a special customized belt.
I did. It's sick.
So whoever wins will be leaving with two belts,
and
they will be king for the next year.
Yeah, wow. So there's a potential, depending on the amount of heats, you could actually see the deathmatch title flip several times before the finals. There could be new like several times. Yeah, so so there could be like 3 champs, 3 to 4 champs within this.
If he drops at round 1, that means Redacted is the champion.
Yeah.
If he goes on, that means that he defends, and then he may drop it next one, or he may retain it the entire time.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. That's really cool. Absolutely. Jesus, tournament's going to be sick, and that belt, that's Hyperion belts as well. Your
Correct.
Usual belt making?
Hyperion Belts is a good sponsor of us. They built the belt custom.
Yeah.
And that's one of the other things that no other tournament has, is where when you win this belt, you get to have it for the rest of the year until the next one where you defend as King of the Kill. But that is your belt to keep.
Wow. So the King of the Kill title. Oh, wow. So whoever becomes the King of the Kill, they essentially reign as the King of the Kill champion, but they win that belt, and there's a new belt the next year, essentially.
Correct.
But the title holds for a year. Yeah.
If they can retain it for another year, they get a whole nother custom belt.
Wow. But they can defend it and lose it as well.
Where it's one of those things where I look at these people like, do you want to own this belt? Do you want to have this to keep forever as a trophy?
Yeah.
And that makes them go hard in the paint to keep it.
Yeah, wow. And does the King of the Kill defend that belt throughout the year, or that's up to them, like what they do with it?
That's up to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their belt up until next year. Up until next year, it's theirs to keep as long as they keep it.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So they could be
And
like,
then
I'm the king of the kill, but I
King of
don't
the Kill
defend
belt,
it, or
then
they could
that'll
put it
be
on the
his
line.
belt.
Yeah, sure. They could do whatever they want. Wow. That's really cool. There's lots of room there for stories and things like that. Or at the very least, a nice souvenir.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. All right, what's up next?
The last one will be Otis Kogar versus Matt Tremont.
Oh shit. Big boy battle there.
The thing I wanted to do with this is I wanted you to think that every single person I put into this tournament could be the winner.
Absolutely.
A lot of tournaments, you can kind of see the layout and you're gonna be like, all right, those guys are the ones I just threw in to like go out round one. I want every single person to be a murderer in my tournament.
Yeah.
I want every single person to be like, if they go out round one, to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is another one.
Yeah. That's so cool. So let's just let's dive into these guys and then we'll run over the field one more time. So obviously when you talk about people that can potentially win it, you talk about Matt Tremont, I think still and will probably go down in history as the most decorated deathmatch wrestler in the world.
Yes.
What else can be said about Matt Tremont? He could win any tournament, any day, any time. And then Otis is like such like a powerhouse dude. And I feel like, again, you want to talk about people getting opportunities within Ruthless. He's another guy that, like, though he's, around the 404 thing and all that kind of stuff, he hasn't really had an opportunity to hold anything yet or pop off. And I think all he needs is like the right launching pad to really hit that next level, right?
Correct. And you know what's crazy about him is he's the only person I've ever seen wrestle in UGG boots.
I thought he was in Tim's. I thought it was in those Timberlands. He does both.
It's the same. Like, just like boots. The man wrestles in boots.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before in my life. And I have seen him go toe to toe in so many great matches for us. Like especially the no rope barbed wire we had with Hardway Heater.
Yes.
Like the man steps up every single time to the plate. And people don't really realize like how dangerous he is. And these two, when they face off, is gonna be a lot of big boys, like, and a lot of head trauma is what I expect from this thing. Like
a lot of concussion protocols in place.
Well, Matt likes his chairs. Otis likes his thumbtacks. Yeah. I got Otis, I think, almost 10,000 thumbtacks for this match.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So I want to give these guys the paintbrushes they need to make this the best matches they could have.
Wow. That's awesome. I feel, Otis has had some good matches, but I think like getting him in there with Tremont in like, opening round matchup in something like this tournament could really start to kick that resume into the next gear for him.
Yeah. And a lot of people are actually backing him on this one. They're like, we love Tremont, but it's Otis is here.
Yeah, Otis is ready to go. Now, do we know because I'm looking at it. So we've got first round matchups, Schlack versus Jeff King, Judge Joe Dredd versus Casanova Valentine, Lou Nixon versus Dr. Redacted, and Tremont versus Otis Kogar, right? Do you know what the sort of table looks like? Like the winners from which matches versus the next one, or that will depend on the day and how things shake out? Yeah.
But I think giving that information almost is like giving too much, because you have someone like Joe Dredd who has been calling out Matt Tremont for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And is that going to happen? Yada, yada, yada. Like, what's going to happen here and here and there? So that's why I haven't bracketed it down.
Yeah.
We also have some non-tournament matches. stuff like that as well.
Yeah. And I think as well, when you've got that bracket and you can clearly see what it is, that's the situation where, like, for instance, say you see the first round is Lou and Redacted and Tremont and Otis, and then the winner of that match is going to verse each other. People would maybe go, oh, well, that probably means Lou is going to beat Redacted and Tremont is going to think, and we're going to see that. And they start making those sort of predictions. Whereas if you keep it random, you don't know if those guys will even get out of the first block, or if they'll be on different sides and won't see each other to the finals, or or what happens. So, their story may not be told here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like to hold my cards really close to the chest.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Because I think the chaos of it makes a much more fun show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will they, won't they is a big thing here. And one of the other things that not a lot of people are talking about is after the person wins the tournament or like goes through the tournament, they still have to take down the previous year's King of the Kill, which is Tommy Vendetta, who will be fresh. He hasn't had to wrestle. And that's what makes our
on the same day
our tournament unique is you go through the tournament and then you have to take down the King of the Kill to become the new King of the Kill. And I think that's what makes it different, almost like a final boss, like Shang Tsung.
Yeah, that is sick.
Through to the end, we'll have to wrestle Tommy Vendetta, who has not wrestled that night and will be fresh.
And you've potentially gone through like 2-3 matches. Oh, fuck. That's crazy. So they could really... So whoever wins this goes through the entire tournament. They get to the finals. They win the final. And then later that same night, or maybe even straight away, whatever, they then need to fight the defending King of the Kill, Tommy Vendetta, who is fresh after they've been through all these matches. So it's not an easy thing, not an easy tournament to win. And you can potentially see a scenario where, like, Tommy is just the King of the Kill twice in a row because he was the freshest guy. He could reign for quite a while because he's always going to have the advantage going in.
Absolutely. And
that's cool.
The winning King of the Kill will have to come back next year and do the same thing over again. But that's their advantage. That's what makes them... the king is that they don't have to go through the tournament. They already won a tournament.
Yeah.
So you go through the tournament and then you have to take down someone that is fresh, that is the previous winner that went through, well, as of last year, that went through the entire tournament to win it.
Yeah.
Put him down and then you will become the king.
Yeah,
and then you get to call yourself the king for the next year until the next one happens, and then you have to defend it at the end like Tommy did.
Yeah. And so I guess the only scenarios...
Be one of these guys.
Yeah. And so I guess the only scenarios where you would no longer be King of the Kill is A, you get beaten by the person who made it through the tournament that day, or if you can't defend it the next year, you'd have to forfeit it. But if you can continue to defend it, you can turn it forever.
If you win, the caveat is you have to show up next year.
Yeah, exactly right.
Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you get to claim yourself as the king for the whole year going into it. You can talk all the shit you want, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes down to tournament time, if you can't put down that person that went through the tournament, then they are now the new king.
Yeah, that's really cool. You could see somebody reigning for 100 years, like just unstoppable, because they're coming in fresh every time to a weakened opponent. And I guess that strategy as well, like if I'm one of these guys going into this tournament, I'm going to be wanting to lose as little blood as possible. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be wanting to figure something out where I can try and take people out as quickly and as brutally as possible to make sure I'm as fresh as possible to verse the last guy.
So the whole idea is not only do you want to go as hard as you possibly can in all your matches to preserve yourself, but you then have to be ready to have a fresh person at the end. And then you get to win a one-of-a-kind belt, which I think will make people that are involved in this tournament go as hard as humanly possible because, A, they want to keep that belt. They want to have a trophy. They want to have something to keep.
Yeah.
This is mine now forever, because next year there'll be a whole nother belt. And if that person retains another one, they get a whole nother belt.
Yeah. That's sick.
And then I think it's motivation for these people to go as hard as they possibly can through this tournament.
Absolutely.
And be ready and as clean and ready as they can be for a fresh man at the end who won it last year.
Riddle me this. Once the tournament concludes, before the winner versus the king, how long do they have before that match happens? Like, is it the bell rings, you've won, and then Tommy hits the ring? Or is there there's a break match or something like that, and then they go?
They got cleanup, and that's it.
Wow. Okay, so it's
clean up and set up.
Right. So it's take 5, refresh yourself, you're back here in fucking...
And when it comes to setup, it will be the most gimmicks we have, everything in the match.
Wow. And so, and that was the other thing I was going to ask you. Are all these matches different steps? You know what I mean? Is it all balls to the wall all the time, or have we got one that's just barbed wire boards, one that's tubes, one that's whatever? Are they gimmicked matches?
Not necessarily. We have the last man standing one, but aside from that, we will give them everything and anything they need in their match that they ask for to believe that they will win and go forward. So there's certain people that have asked me for certain stipulations, I want a lot of gusset plates.
Yeah.
There's certain people that have been I need tube cabins and I need, barbed wire boards, yada, yada, yada. And we will make all of that for them. We have a large amount of gimmicks ready for these guys to show what they can do and make it through.
That's great. So it comes down to the wrestlers' preferences almost. So for example, he's not in the tournament, but say Eric Ryan's in it, right? And he's I want nothing but terracotta pots and forks. And then he's versus Tremont, who's
that will be the match.
Yeah. And then and then also whatever else his opponent wants. So say it's Tremont, he's and then I want 1,000 chairs. And you're cool. So it's nothing but terracotta pots, forks, and chairs. That's not what's happening in this tournament, but that's sort of the thinking behind each of the matches. It becomes real personality and strategy based depending on the wrestler.
Correct.
Yeah,
and we have gone way out of our way to make sure that all these wrestlers have exactly what they have asked for their initial round matches. And then what we will do is ramp up the violence from there. And I would say with Otis, he really likes thumbtacks, so we got him 10,000 thumbtacks for his match.
Yeah.
When he goes beyond that, he'll get all the thumbtacks he wants, but it's going to be a lot of whatever else the other guy wants in the match too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's really cool. I really think you've done something special with this tournament, man. I think it's really cool. I think you've put a different spin on the deathmatch tournament. And I think there's a lot of mental games that can be played, strategy that can be put into play by the contestants that I think is going to lead to a real good fucking time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we got some non-tournament matches too. In between, that'll make a fun time in between. And, the whole weekend itself is a whole fun time there. So I think it's just going to be this whole big, interesting thing that people are just on cloud 9, hopefully, by the time the tournament happens, that they get to watch something truly insane and violent, and they get to get behind their person, and hopefully that person can topple Tommy at the end.
Yeah, that's sick. Now, is there in the same location it was last time? Because I remember he had a great venue. It was outdoors. There was food on the go. That was it just seemed like a real great couple of days.
Yeah, it's the same venue. So if I could break down the whole weekend, if you don't mind.
Sure, please.
What I've always wanted to make this is not just a tournament, but I wanted to make it almost like a festival situation. So we brought on this year, like last year, we brought on our good friends in Unsanctioned Pro, and they did their thing and they fucking murdered it. It was a great time. This year it's Flophouse, which is SCHWARTZY's promotion, and he has some insane matches planned. Some great names coming in like B-Boy and Hoodfoot and all these guys.
Right.
So after that show gets done, we have a free smokeout handled by SCHWARTZY and Darren McCarty. It's pretty insane. I mean, there's apparently 2 5-gallon buckets of pre-rolls coming in. There's a nice luge of THC lean.
Jesus Christ.
There's a dab bar, all free for anyone that's camping out. And then we have our sponsors from my friends in Severin Films. You know, I'm a big horror movie fan, and they do B movies, and that's my kind of thing. And they're going to do a midnight movie marathon from midnight to sunup. And they're going to do giveaways and grab bags and baskets the entire night. And you get to watch some crazy B movies all night. And then the next day, I have an entire metal concert going on up until. So I have bands like Backbiter, which is like a slamcore band from Toledo. I mean, they're amazing. So if you ever saw our intro package for Animosity, they did the Dog Eat Dog song for that. We have Mutilatred, which is like one of our biggest bands out of Toledo, but they tour all over the world, and you know, like they're a big deal. And one of the guitar players is in Sue Sanglebog, which is a super well-known band in America. We have Reptile, which is a offshoot of those guys, and then we have Elbow Deep, which is pretty much our in-house metal band.
Yeah, you've had them on stuff before, I remember.
Yeah, they've written like songs for us. They put on some really good shows, but they also hit each other with lit tubes, and they get bloody as fuck while they do it. So then there'll be like a nice hour in between, and then it goes into the tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. What like a great time for everybody. And is there just what's the vibe with tickets? And by that I mean is it a ticket that's sort of like a 2-day pass, or do people buy ticket to Flophouse, ticket to Ruthless? How does that sort of work?
So what we have going on is if you go to ruthlesspro.ticketleap.com/KOTK, we have several different ticket packages going on. We have, if you want night 1, you want night 2, you want a combo package. Let's say you bought just a ticket for us, but you want to add on for that, there's an extra ticket for that. And I think we're doing it cheaper than anyone's doing anything like this around. And it's one of those things also where you can camp out. It doesn't cost any extra money to camp out, and you don't have to leave after King of the Kill. You can camp out a whole another night. You can get as fucked up as you want for the show, and then camp out, and then Sunday morning you can wake up and you can sober up, and then you can leave then. So you come up Friday and then leave Sunday morning and have an entire thing. And the combo packages we have left, I mean, it's not going to charge you any more than $55.
Yeah, wow. And
that's for a whole weekend, and with the free weed and everything that we got going on, movie marathons, bands. And then Marks R Us and 440 or 740 are going to do a whole thing where it's free Gatorade, free water, and then they're giving out free blunts and all kinds of shit for King of the Kill. And it's one of those things where we just want to make it this whole great festival experience where if you love wrestling, you want to come out, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you'll have the best weekend of your life. You'll see good bands, you'll see movies, you're going to leave with grab bags, you're going to leave with free weed, the whole nine.
That's wild. It's I don't smoke, but like in Australia, like weed ain't really legal. Like just getting around on the streets, and you guys are just like handing it out for free in buckets.
Well,
you get a show bag full.
It's very legal, and we have it taken care of by people that have licensed dispensaries and yada yada, giving it away. So everything's very legal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a totally different world in the States to what's over here. Like I think the only people that have any kind of legalness with that, it's like medical prescriptions and things like that. But either way, it sounds like there's a lot of value to be had, and it sounds like a great fucking time for everybody. You know, talk about a weekend away with wrestling and music and stuff like that. It's a killer time. So you just essentially live there for the weekend, which is going to be sick.
Yeah, you set up for the weekend, and we like last year we had people that were messaged like, I'm not sure I know anyone. I'm not sure I want to camp out. I'm like, I might be uncomfortable, and I swear to God, the vibe of what we put on, like you'll have 15 best friends within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very accepting. It's very welcoming. Mm-hmm. Everyone's having the best time of their life. And that's what I want to do. Like when I started this thing, I wanted to combine everything I love into one thing. Mm-hmm. And this is the like amalgamation of that. Like I love horror movies. Mm-hmm. I love death metal. And I love deathmatch wrestling. Yeah. Well, we're sponsored by Severin Films. Yeah. That's the horror movie part. Mm-hmm. Free movie marathon that they're going to give free movies away all night. They're going to be giving all kinds of shit away. I love music. Yeah. We're going to have an entire concert of some of my best fucking hand-picked bands that I love to death that are playing. And like, they're not slouches. Like these guys are all signed on record labels and touring the country and doing this. And that's what you're going to have to enjoy going into that. We're also going to have weapon building workshops and all kinds of stuff. Like we want to make it like a full experience.
So good.
To where if you spend your $50-$60, bring a tent, plop it up. You could show up Friday night and leave Sunday, whenever, and be like, "Wow, that was fucking nuts. That was fun."
That's so cool, man. And it just goes to show anybody like listening to this, or if you've ever seen anything to do with Ruthless, or been to a Ruthless show, or watch it on IWTV like I do, like Chris is just like a dude that makes stuff for people who like the same shit as him, and he likes a lot of fucking awesome shit. So just get involved because it's a great time. He's not going to steer you wrong. The man's got great taste.
I'm making what I wish someone would do that I could go to.
Yeah, exactly.
In all honesty, and that like with no hyperbole, like I want what I'm putting on to be something like, God damn, I wish something like this would go on, and it'd be like, wow.
Yeah. You were just like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Friday night.
Yeah.
I get high as giraffe pussy after the first show, and the first show was nuts. And then I get to watch movies.
Yeah.
So
just chill out, eat food, whatever. Yeah.
That own that company giving me free DVDs and all this stuff. Yeah. And then the next morning I wake up and then I can learn how to make weapons properly for a show. Yeah. And then, now there's all these great bands playing, and they're not slouch bands. I'm telling you, they are the best of the best that I can get.
Yeah.
Like these are the bands that like literally tour the country and are doing it. And they're all coming here because they're friends of mine and they want to support what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then bam, we go right into the tournament. And what I expect, or what I wanted to do with the tournament, was I wanted you to think that every single person that was involved could win the tournament.
Absolutely.
And
you have.
What could happen? And then afterwards, it's done. We all party again, and you can go sleep again. And then you wake up in the morning, and when you sobered up, and you're fine, you get your 10 up, go home.
Good to go. That is sick. It's so good, man. I'm so excited for you. I'm so sad that I'm not going. I'm definitely, we got to make it happen next year. Fuck, we've definitely got to make it happen.
Got it, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you make it work.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. this man tried to help me make it work this year, and it just, nobody counted on me breaking off my hands. So fucking let's make that happen. In the meantime, you focus on having the absolute best weekend that you can possibly have. Tell people one more time where to find Ruthless and where to buy those tickets.
So you can find us on most socials at Ruthless419. That'll be on Facebook. That'll be on Instagram, X, I guess it's called now.
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
Or Twitter. That's what it used to be called.
Mm-hmm.
So find us there. The tickets are ruthlesspro.ticketleap.com/KOTK.
This guy,
and
no
that'll
one
give you
by heart.
all the different options you want. It'll be like, if I want the whole weekend, if I just want night 1, if I want night 2, the whole 9 there. And then just come out and party with us. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like a lot of people say, like, I'd like to go, but I don't know anybody. 5 minutes into being there, you will have 5 best friends.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, like, we're an entire different vibe. We're an entire different tribe. And we're here to, like, give you the best we can do, but also make you, like, have the best time you can have.
Yeah.
And I swear to Christ, like, if I wasn't involved with this, if I just was like an outsider looking in and I just like looked at what was going on, I would think that this is the best weekend you could ever have in your life.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I do not doubt it at all. Everybody, if you can find yourself there, if you're within range, like pick up a ticket, go there, have a good time, eat some food, see some bands, buy some merch and support the wrestlers, watch the tournament. Like, it just is going to be an amazing time. So, dude, I want to thank you so much for making time for me at the end of your night. I think you're probably well and truly ready to hit the hay. So I'm going to let you escape. And thanks, man. Thanks for being a friend. I love you, dude. I can't wait to the chance for us to hang out in person one day. It'll be sick, man.
I'll always give you my time, my friend, no matter how I had to squeeze it in.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I think the world of you, and I think the world of everything you're doing and always have. So everybody out there, check out Everything Ruthless Pro. And remember, it's all about peace, love, and fucking deathmatch wrestling. Thanks for listening. Faces and Feels is a proud member of the Count Out Podcasting Network. It is created and hosted by me, Rafe Houston. Edited by myself and the amazing Ryan Nietzsche, and the show is available on all good podcast platforms, so please go rate and subscribe. You can follow the show everywhere on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. at Faces Feels Cast, and you can check out the Count Out Network and all our sister shows over there at Count Out Pod. If you'd like to book me for commentary, have an interview request, a topic suggestion, or you just want to say hi, you can email us at facesandfeels@gmail.com. With all that said, thanks for listening, and please support our friends and sponsors. Peace.
My body is a roadmap of pain.
DeathmatchWorldwide.com, the official online merchandise store that is only for deathmatch wrestling. Featuring official t-shirts from No Peace Underground, John Wayne Murdoch, Akira, Madman Pondo, Zona 23, Neil Diamond Cutter, G. Rayburn, Schlack, Necro Butcher, and many more. If you are a deathmatch wrestler, promotion, manager, or platform and are interested in joining the web store, send us an email to deathmatchworldwide@yahoo.com. Deathmatchworldwide.com for the violent feud.
This has been a Count Out Podcast.
Hey, have you guys heard of the new show on the Count Out Network, the Ichiban Sweetcast?
It's the brand new New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast starring the International Wrestling Grand Prix. That's me, your good friend Curtis Spears.
And me, your bad friend Rafe Houston. And we're here to talk about everything New Japan Pro Wrestling, reacting to everything, getting worked up, getting very happy, sometimes crying. Kind of like something else we used to do, right?
Oh, yeah. That was the old Okada Shorts podcast, right?
Ah, that's right. And if you love that show, you're going to love this show because it's exactly the same show.
Yeah, we just had to change the name.
Yeah, we did. But you can check it everywhere on a social media handle that we haven't made yet.
Yeah, we're really new to this. So what you can do is search on your favorite podcast catcher of choice. Look for the Ichiban Sweetcast.
Sweetcast, Ichiban.